Hi everyone! In this video, I will be going over my dining experience at Family Style Meal Mogul's restaurant. As I mentioned before, she is the ajumma from episode 1 of Culinary Class Wars, and she prepared this set of Korean dishes, and unfortunately she did not make it past the first round because she didn't serve rice with her food, and the judge, Anh Sung-jae, thought that without the rice, it ended up tasting too salty, so therefore he eliminated her. And I thought that was such a memorable moment from the show because we were all kind of just holding our breath to see what the super picky judge was going to decide. And they kind of like pulled at our heartstrings a little bit. They kind of gave her a little bit of a backstory, and all the other White Spoon chefs watching her from above were like rooting for her, saying like, oh, her food looks so good. If this was a Korean food competition, she would win hands down. So we were kind of set up into thinking that she would make it into the next round, and she didn't. And a lot of people felt really bad for her as well because it just seemed like such a minor mistake, but that ultimately cost her her chance to proceed with the competition. So for her restaurant, she actually has 3 locations as far as I know. I was pretty surprised about that because here I thought she was running like a small little mom and pop shop, but she actually has 3 branches, maybe even more, but they are all in Daegu area, and that's unfortunately nowhere near Seoul. It is kind of like closer towards Busan down south. We were hanging around that area because we were chasing cherry blossoms at this time during our trip since it was late March. And yes, we did see a lot of cherry blossoms in full bloom, super gorgeous. But yeah, we were hanging around Gyeongju area, and one of the day trips I was planning to go to Daegu because there was a theme park called eWorld that has really nice cherry blossoms there. So since I was already going to be in the area, I thought, hey, like let's go ahead and see if we can try her restaurant. I believe it is accessible by bus, but for us, since we were in a time crunch, we decided to just take an Uber. And we ended up getting there at around 2 p.m. And the restaurant does open for like morning session, and then they close for like an hour or 2, and then they reopen again for dinner. So by the time we got there, it was towards the end of the lunch session. So they were about to close, I think like 3 or 3:30. So by the time we got there, there wasn't a line or anything, but we did have to wait about 10 to 15 minutes for a table to open up. Session. And also it's like a weird time right now. It's like 2:30, 3. I think we came like earlier, popular time. It might be a bit more. So her restaurant is named 엄마 밥상, which means mom's table. So kind of as the name insinuates, you're eating with mom, and she has all these foods and banchans spread out for you. So that's why there's so much food. It's like mom's cooking the food for you and like spoiling you with all her food. They brought out a first wave, and I thought that was it. And then it just kept coming and coming, and I was like, oh, more food. Oh my goodness. 네. 감사합니다. More food's coming. My husband and I were like, are we gonna be able to finish all of this? Because it filled up the whole table. The menu comprises of a lot of different set options, and for the most part, I think all of them have the oyster pancake. But I did see that on the menu, they put a little note in the corner saying that oysters are only available from October to March. So if that's something that you're interested in, that is definitely the key time frame to go. Because it had so many set options, we were also kind of confused because in the pictures, it made it seem like one order came with the pancake and the mackerel. And we were like, do we order 2? Like, you know, for each of us, or do we get one to share? Because based on the picture alone, it looked like there was so much food already. So we actually ended up trying to order one set, and they're like, oh, no, you have to order 2. And we're like, oh, okay. So yeah, don't be a noob like us and order 1 because yeah, they will correct you and tell you it's, you have to order 1 per person basically. And even though you order one per person, you don't get like 2 oyster pancakes. Like you don't get 2 of everything. Some items you do get 2 each. Like the oyster rice, we each got our own oyster rice. But for the pancake and the mackerel and the banchan, you just get 1 of everything and then you share accordingly. And I think they portion it out based on how many people are eating. And like, trust me, there was plenty of food. Yeah, we paid 20,000 Korean won per set. And we both got the same set, which was the oyster pancake and oyster rice set. We also decided to add on an order of yukhae, which is the raw beef tartare. And they were having some kind of like promotional sale on it. I think it was about like 8,000 Korean won. That was so much cheaper than what we were used to seeing, because the day before when we were eating in Gyeongju, we had eaten this like kind of like a similar thing. We had yukhae and seafood pancake at another place, and it was a lot more expensive compared to this place. So here, lunch, we ended up paying 48,000 Korean won, which is about like $34 for 2 people, which isn't too bad, especially given how much food there was. On the show, when she was cooking, I forgot what other dishes she made to accompany her presented dish, but the one that stood out to me was the oyster pancake. It looked so pretty. It was like this vibrant green color, and then she had also cut chili peppers on top too, so we had like this beautiful contrast between the red and the green. Oh wait, I'm looking forward to this pancake. I need to eat this pancake. So I was really looking forward to that oyster pancake, and it was pretty good. It had so many fresh oysters on there. I wish it was a little bit crispier. It didn't feel greasy, which I really like, because sometimes with these seafood pancakes, if they fry it for too long, it gets kind of oily. This one wasn't the case, but it wasn't as crispy or flavorful as I would have hoped. So I think there's still room for improvement. I like the oyster pancake. For some reason, I just kept associating the saltiness that the judge was criticizing her for with the pancake. But when I went back to watch the clip, he just said that the seaweed soup that she made was bland, and the oyster kimchi was salty. But unfortunately, those 2 items were not included in the set that I ordered. So out of the things that she made for the show, only the oyster pancake was something I was able to sample.
So that's fresh.
I don't think this oyster pancake's that salty.
Oh, it's salty.
This, no. But I don't remember what other dish. I don't think it's anything too salty, but I don't think it is anything special. How's the fish? Is there a lot of bones?
No, but this is exactly the type of fish I do like.
Oh no. There's bone or no?
I didn't find any bones, actually.
Oh, it's like mackerel. You don't like mackerel? I like mackerel. It has like a little fatty taste to it. I mean, it was cooked really well. The mackerel was great. This reminds me of the first challenge when the judges were splitting up 40 and 40 for each of them to go around to try. And then like some people made like a whole feast, like a whole buffet.
Yeah, so
Like, how are they gonna eat all of that? They only sample a little bit. But I do also feel like when you bring out like such a bunch of dishes, the result, like you kind of just judge everything as a whole. And then like, because some banchans or whatever, they don't compare as much as something else, it still detracts from the overall meal experience. Because we're having like a bunch of other little things that we didn't really necessarily order or care about. It just makes it feel like it undermines how good we might have viewed just this one dish.
I think it's hard for us to evaluate this because we don't have a Korean palate.
True.
It's like maybe this is the stuff that my moms cook all the time. Like maybe this is like the best version of macro dish that's possible.
That's true. I mean, it's hard to judge a restaurant that focuses purely on Korean cuisine, whereas like the other Culinary Class Wars restaurant we went to, they were like fusion.
No.
So you could be a little bit more, you could judge it a little bit more fairly. Whereas this one, there is a cultural element. But you could also just judge with that disclaimer and be like, well, I'm not a Korean person, but this is what I think. Because we're not Korean, we can't fully appreciate this meal because it seems like it's a very traditional, authentic Korean meal. And for us, you know, it was very clear that we didn't really know what we were doing.
여기 뜨시고. 숟가락.
숟가락. 네. 네. They brought out the oyster rice. There was kind of like a kettle of soup that they pour in. And there was like a whole process to it. And they knew because we were foreigners that we didn't know how to prepare it. So the lady was really nice and she actually ended up doing everything for us. 네. 네.
이거 다 잡수고 이거
네.
끓였어?
네. 네.
이거 간장 조금씩.
오케이. 오케이. 감사합니다.
해드릴까요?
네. Oh, you can do it for you. She was asking if she should do it for you. For the oyster rice, at the bottom of the pot, the rice is stuck to it. So when you scrape it off, you get like this scorched rice, which gives it like this nice smoky flavor. The burnt rice. But I think that alone doesn't give that much flavor to the dish. And she did tell us to add some of the soy sauce into it. So that's what we did. But just judging it based on just eating it directly from the pot with a little bit of soy sauce, it is pretty plain. That soup and rice thing doesn't have any flavor really. I guess I'm eating congee. Like we've never eaten that dish before. And with some of the banchan, I recognize most of them, but for some of the things, like I don't really know what goes with what. Like, what is this sauce for? What are you supposed to do with this? So much banchan. What is this one? What is that? What is that for? Maybe I'm not eating it right, or like I don't know like what seasonings to add to what dish to make it more enhanced. So for me, because I'm a foreigner, I lack that knowledge of a Korean person who might know more about these dishes and how to eat them. So maybe I'm not maximizing my enjoyment because I don't know how to like eat certain dishes. I can only judge it based on my personal taste preferences, but I can't say, you know, whether a Korean person would like it or not. I mean, apparently on Naver Maps, the Koreans really like it and they review it pretty well. So maybe they are onto something that I'm not. So it also came with a stew, which I thought was 된장찌개. I thought it was soybean paste stew. Oh, this soup is pretty salty. But I looked up the menu and I translated it on Google Translate. And it says crab stew, so maybe that's why I found it really salty. Like that was definitely not my favorite out of the things in that set. The beef tartare is not bad.
What?
The beef tartare is not bad. Yesterday was way better than the opposite. I mean, you get what you pay for. Even the pear was better yesterday too.
Yep.
But I mean, for like less than $6, like I'm not going to complain. It's still pretty good beef tartare. So for the banchan, I'm not gonna go over like each one in detail because there's just too much, and also there's not really anything for me to say for most of them because they're either like pretty decent or like they're just like meh. Like there's not a lot of exciting things to talk about for them. So for example, japchae, pretty standard. The rolled egg omelet, it was okay. I feel like I'm like, oh, like such basic descriptions. But for me, like personally, I didn't find the banchan very exciting. So it's hard for me to like get excited over a dish if I don't genuinely think it is special or delicious. Looks like pork bulgogi. Oh yeah. Yes, bulgogi pork. The pork bulgogi, we thought it was just like, it was just aight. What about this bulgogi? I think this bulgogi's okay too.
Bulgogi is very okay.
It's also like not warm at all. I think they do just keep the pancake like in the fridge somewhere, and then they just like pull it out when it's time to assemble the set. But yeah, I mean, normally I prefer eating, you know, bulgogi hot, preferably off of a Korean barbecue grill. Ones that stood out to me, surprisingly, one of them is like a salad. Oh, it's sesame dressing. It's pretty good.
Oh,
You see the black sesame dressing, or the black sesame seeds on it. It was very nutty and savory, and that really surprised me, and that salad dressing was really good.
but this is the raw crab.
Oh, it is. And another thing that we really liked is the raw marinated crab. It came with maybe like 3 or 4 little pieces. I think that was like actually maybe our favorite thing that we ate out of the entire set.
Crab's my favorite.
Yeah, the crab is really good. Even more than the oyster pancake, just because it's already marinated, so there's a lot of flavor, and the meat came out of the crab really easily as well. Now the staff are eating.
Really?
Yeah. I don't see the owner though.
You should see how we take a picture.
Take a picture of her.
You take a picture with her, then you might need to increase your rating.
No, I'm trying to be fair. She can't bribe me with her presence, no matter how cute she is. Here's the work we did. We ate most of it. The main dishes anyway. Still have some banchan left. We're the last one here. Only the staff is eating for the last table. So overall, would I recommend this place? Anyway, my verdict is this place is okay. I wouldn't recommend. Like, even though the star of the show, which I think is supposed to be the oyster pancake, it's not, I don't know, it didn't blow me away. I feel like yesterday's pancake at the other place with the shrimp, that one was really, I think it's okay. I wouldn't want to come back. I didn't find the food spectacular or amazing. Nothing blew me away. There wasn't anything particular that I was like, oh, this is so good. Like, I don't think any other restaurant can top this one. Like, I didn't feel that way about anything that I ate here. So for that reason, I don't recommend it. Maybe if you're in the area, you're in Daegu, and you're like, hey, like I want to hit up that lady spot. Sure, like you can go, but don't have like really high expectations thinking that you'll be able to eat something to the caliber of, you know, some of the other Culinary Class Wars chefs. This was an example for me that, you know, some of these restaurants can be hit or miss. And especially since I came from Seoul and I had 3 amazing experiences before this one, it was really disappointing to be eating here and realizing that, oh, you know, maybe she didn't make it past the first round for a reason. Especially since I had something similar a day before at another restaurant and it was a lot better, it became clearer to me that this obviously didn't have the best seafood pancake. I know I've had better at other places. Okay, so this concludes this video, and in the following video of this series, I will be returning back to Seoul to eat at Jeongji-sun's dim sum restaurant, Tianmimi. So if you're looking forward to knowing more about what the dishes from the dim sum queen taste like, stay tuned for the following video. Okay, so until we eat again, see you, bye!